Everybody just calm down. Okay. Hello. Welcome back to Home Media Reviews. Today, we're discussing Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I said everyone calm down! Okay. Do you want me to do the review or not? You do? Okay. Stop screaming that you either love or hate this film, put your bias at the door, and just go into this blind, okay? Calm down. I know it's been 2 years since this movie came out, but people are still riled up about it. And honestly, it's getting kind of old. But we'll discuss that later. Let's go ahead and move on into the history section of The Last Jedi. So The Last Jedi came barreling into theaters on December 15th, 2017. And much like The Force Awakens and Rogue One, I remember the hype around this one. It was big. I wouldn't say I was as excited for this as I was for Force Awakens. I mean, I was excited. No doubt about that. But Force Awakens had the novelty of saying, Star Wars is back. And The Last Jedi was like, oh, this is the sequel to when Star Wars came back. Not that I wasn't excited, of course. I was excited, but not as much as Force Awakens. Actually, before we get into the physical media aspect of this, I want to tell you guys a story about when I went to see The Last Jedi. Okay, so we went to the theater that's pretty close by my dwellings. It's an AMC, used to be a Carmack Cinema, now it's an AMC. My parents hate that theater because the chairs are uncomfortable. And we met up with some friends there, actually. They were there to see the movie as well. We didn't know they were going to be there, but they were there. And for some unknown reason, the person who took our tickets at the door let us go into the theater. Let me explain. For big movies like Star Wars and whatnot, there are usually lines. There are usually people who stand outside and make people wait to go into the theater because the first showing wasn't over yet. This was Friday night, by the way, so there had been showings periodically throughout the entire day, and we were at one of the late showings, 7:30 or 8 o'clock, so the previous screening hadn't finished up yet, so the theater was still occupied. So like I said, for some unknown reason, this theater employee let me, my parents, brother, and our friends go and wait outside of the theater for the movie to end. So we sat out there for maybe 15, 20 minutes or whatnot. Every time we heard sounds like a TIE fighter shooting or ships flying by, we all covered our ears because we didn't want to hear anything. No spoilers, man. We especially covered our ears when the people came out of the theater because we didn't want any spoilers. I've heard the horror stories of people who walked out of the theater just screaming at the top of their lungs, "Hey, can you believe Han Solo died?" And everybody who's in the line next to them is pissed because they just heard a huge spoiler. So after the screening finally let out and everyone was out and the theater was finally cleaned up, me, parents, brother, and the friends went inside, got our seats, front row. Well, not front row like those uncomfortable seats where you're basically looking up at the screen. No, kind of in the middle. Then about 20 more minutes go by and they start letting in the other people into the theater. They had people lined up out the door for this screening that we were already in. I heard one lady walk past us and she went, "Oh, they already let people in. We've been out there waiting for 40 minutes. And I'm like, I feel kind of awkward now. I mean, I felt a little special too because I was like, ooh, we got into the theater early. But I was also like, that's a little bit awkward, ain't it? So anyway, I got to sit in a theater for 20 extra minutes waiting for The Last Jedi before everybody else came in and got crappy seats. That's my story. After I saw The Last Jedi, technically opening night, I went back to see it again a few weeks later by myself in theaters because my parents think I'm stupid because I want to go watch things in theaters 2, sometimes 3 times like I did with Avengers Endgame. But after that theatrical saga, then we got The Last Jedi's physical home media release on March 27th, 2018. This one is interesting. for multiple reasons. For one, this is the first Disney-era Star Wars film to be released with just a Blu-ray. There was no Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. Disney ditched that format in 2017. There was a Blu-ray and a digital copy code, and then a standard DVD version. However, this is also monumental because The Last Jedi was the first Star Wars film to ever be released on the 4K format. We got a 4K Blu-ray, plus regular Blu-ray, plus digital copy pack. You'll notice, though, no 3D Blu-ray here in the US. Overseas, you could get a 3D Blu-ray and you could import it in, but not here in the States. Thank God, because home 3D sucks. Best Buy, of course, had a Steelbook, which you could get in a 4K pack and a regular Blu-ray pack. I actually think that the exclusive versions of The Last Jedi included a DVD. So I guess my earlier statement was incorrect. Not really, though, because the regular Blu-ray doesn't come with a DVD, which is a huge deal, in my opinion. There was a Target exclusive digibook with, again, exclusive content on a separate disc like they did with Rogue One. I really wanted this exclusive version, but I got out of work really late that day and didn't get a chance to snag it. My Target was all sold out, so I ended up just getting the regular Blu-ray, and I went home very sad. There was a Walmart exclusive version which had changeable covers, similar to Rogue One's Target exclusive. There was another pre-order lithograph set that was exclusive through the Disney Store. However, I don't have a photo of it. There was also a Disney Movie Club exclusive that, again, included a DVD in the regular Blu-ray. The standard Blu-ray did not include one of those. I don't know why I had to say that again. I was just reading off of my notes. So after all that major release, The Last Jedi basically remained on store shelves. There was a lot of stock that Disney shipped out to stores. However, on September 22nd, 2019, we got a Blu-ray/DVD reissue with, again, some pretty cool poster art. I like these posters for these new 2019 Blu-ray versions. I like these. And when I say Blu-ray/DVD, I mean separately. We got a standard Blu-ray and a standard DVD. So that concludes the history section for The Last Jedi. Let's move on to the close-up. Oh dear God, I can already hear the rabid fanboys rushing to this video to call me either a Disney lover or a Star Wars hater, whichever one you feel is necessary. Today we're taking a look at The Last Jedi. Here's your close-up of this. We're starting off with just the standard version of The Last Jedi. Don't worry, I didn't lie back in the Force Awakens HMR when I said I have a retailer exclusive version of each of the new Star Wars films. I do. Just give me a minute, okay? We gotta take a look at the standard version here. Blu-ray plus digital, multi-screen edition. Really awesome poster. I really love that poster. And its sheen, that rainbow sheen on it's great. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Plays anywhere. Movies anywhere. Computer, smartphone, TV, and tablet. I hate this border on this thing. The silver border, it's stupid. Multi-screen edition. Get rid of that crap, Disney. For real, it's stupid. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Right down there at the bottom, Lucasfilm logo and product number. The back, digital movie included. This was when they transitioned into movies anywhere. You got that there. Blu-ray bonus features. Your list of it up there. Knockout fun surprises. Marvelous adventure and shocking revelations. Your blurb, which is contained in this little final fight between Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker. Bit of a spoiler there, actually. Character screenshots down there at the bottom. Again, another explanation of how the digital download works with iTunes. Legalese and stuff down there at the bottom. Take off your slipcover here. Here's what the Blu-ray underneath looks like without that silver border on it, but still has the multi-screen edition and all that stuff there. Plays anywhere, all that junk. Blu-ray disc again. The spine's virtually the same. The back is virtually the same as well, just more legalese down there at the bottom. we open this up, here are your two discs. Here is your film disc with Kylo Ren overlooking his First Order armory, and your bonus features disc with Rian Johnson yelling at C-3PO saying, "Hey, I am gonna piss off a lot of people with this movie, and I really don't care." Spoiler alert, I like The Last Jedi, so I'm not mad about this movie. Take that, haters. So I said I have a retailer exclusive version of The Last Jedi, and I've been called many things in my life, but a liar is not one of them. I have the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook version, because a few years ago, I was really hungry for 4K stuff, and I upgraded The Last Jedi to 4K. This is the 4K exclusive version of The Last Jedi at Best Buy. Well, you can get the 4K standard at other places, but you know what I mean. The packaging is what's exclusive. Luke, Finn, the one Asian character, Rose, Rey, Carrie Fisher, Poe Dameron, a lot of other characters on there that I don't want to name. This poster is really cool though. I like the embossing of the Star Wars logo on it. It feels very nice on my thumb. The side, the Lucasfilm logo, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Blu-ray disc logo down at the bottom. The back features First Order artwork in a mirroring style to this poster. I bought this used off of eBay, so I don't have the little cardboard piece that goes over the top, so I can't show you what that looks like. But if we open this up, there's your 4K disc with Rey there, 4K Ultra HD down there at the bottom. This is pretty standard for what a Disney 4K disc looks like. We saw this with Avengers, actually, back in the first season of HMR. Oh, how long it's been. And then your disc artwork has not changed. It's the same stuff, same contents. But, take the discs out, because I want to show you the artwork behind here, because the artwork is pretty cool. It is the Battle of Crate. And for comparison's sake, here's what the front looks like. So that concludes your close-up section on The Last Jedi. Let's go ahead and transition into the menu tour of The Last Jedi. Okay, everybody, here's your menu tour for Star Wars The Last Jedi. We're taking a look at the regular Blu-ray disc here. So, let's go ahead and get started. We have play, audio commentary, scene selection, and setup. The audio commentary menu is basically just, you can turn it on or off, and it's the audio commentary with writer and director Rian Johnson, just him, nobody else. Scene selection, as very standard with Star Wars on home media platforms, we have a bunch of scenes here, all of them labeled throughout the film. And I believe we have 50 of them. Let's look. Oh, 52. I was a little bit off there, but yeah, 52 scenes. This is quite a long film, actually. And setup, what do we have for setup? Languages, English 7.1 surround sound, master audio, English 2.0 descriptive, French 5.1, and Spanish 5.1. I guess they just don't want them to have 7.1 mixes. They don't care about the French or the Spanish. And then here are subtitles, English, Spanish, and French as per usual. And I really like how this menu is set up. I actually like this more than the Force Awakens Blu-ray menu, if you recall that one. We took a look at that a few weeks back. I really like the symmetry between this image here and then the scenes from the film playing over here. And I just love the color scheme from The Last Jedi. That red, white, and black color scheme. Oh, it's amazing. Alrighty, welcome back to the exact same menu as before, but now it's the bonus features menu. Yeehaw, right? There's your proof, as per usual. I have to show you what's inside. If you notice, we're going with the 4K Steelbook Blu-ray and bonus features disc because I don't really care about the regular Blu-ray. I should honestly sell that. I don't really need it. Bonus features and subtitles, those are the only two options we have here for the menu, but we retain the same menu style. Bonus features include The Director and the Jedi, which is that really extensive, long documentary about the making of The Last Jedi that I still have to watch. Balance of the Force, scene breakdowns, Andy Serkis Live, one night only, deleted scenes, and info. Now, do we have a separate menu for deleted scenes? We do. And we can watch them with commentary by director Rian Johnson. Interesting. Introduction from Rian Johnson, alternate opening, Paige's gun jams, Luke has a moment, which I maintain should be in the film. Okay, that's when Luke mourns the death of Han Solo after he learns that Han is dead. They were like best buds in the Ridge Tridge, okay? That should have been in the film. Pisses me off it got cut out. Poe, not much of a sower? I thought that said sewer. It's kind of weird that you recorded that. I feel that every time I make one of these videos. The Caretaker sizes up Rey. Caretaker village sequence. Extended father chase. God, we didn't need that extended. Mega Destroyer incursion. Extended version. And Rose bites the hand that feeds her. Phasma squealed like a whoop hog. Rose and Finn go to where they belong. Rey and Chewie and the Falcon. And the costumes and creatures of Canto Bight. That is a lot of deleted scenes. I mean, wow. So let me just look. Do we have like... Okay, no, we don't have chapter selections for the director and the Jedi. But it's 90 minutes long, as you can see on your screen right now, so it is quite lengthy. Okay, it's the exact same menu again, but look, it's the 4K disc this time. Wow, fun times. It does look cleaner and crisper, I can go ahead and tell you that. Judging from the fact that I can actually see this with my own two eyes, it probably doesn't look any different on the camera, because the camera only records in 1080p. Wish the rest of the film looked this good, actually. Play, scene selection, and settings. Scene selection, we're going to have the exact same scenes as before. I'm actually not going to go through them, because that'll just take too long. The settings is where things get different. We have an English 7.1.4 Dolby Atmos mix for our sound. Dolby Atmos is pretty great in my opinion. And we also have the 7.1 mix. And the 2.0 mix, descriptive audio, and Spanish 7.1. Hey, remember how I said on the Blu-ray that we just ignored the Spanish people? Nah, they get a 7.1 mix here. Sweet. But no French. There's no French here. Interesting. Subtitles. None. English and Spanish. Guess we just completely forgot France. Disc languages, also English and Spanish and English descriptive audio. I'm not really sure what disc languages mean. But who cares, because it's now time for us to move on and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1. Where can you pick this product up? You can find The Last Jedi in stores. You can find either the reissued version or the original version. My Best Buy still has the 4K sets on their shelves. Standard 4K, no more steelbooks. But as I said in previous HMRs, if you want the reissued version, do not go to Walmart. Walmart just doesn't have these. I don't know why. Go to either Target or Best Buy. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Yeah, because it just got reprinted in September. What are you, stupid? Number 3, should you pick this product up? I need to take a drink of my Ale 8 because, whoo boy, we're going to have us a discussion. Ale 8, so refreshing. Not sponsored. So, when The Last Jedi came out, there was a lot of fan outcry because apparently some babies on the internet couldn't handle the fact that their precious saga went in a different direction. I, for one, like The Last Jedi. I like it quite a bit. Do I think it's the best thing since Jesus Christ? No. Do I think it's the worst thing since Satan? No. I think it is a fairly well-crafted film with some flaws, but we'll get to those in a minute. Let's talk about what I liked about it first. By far, the most interesting of the 2 plot lines in this film is Rey and Luke. I really enjoy watching Luke try to train Rey. Try in quotation marks there because Luke's kind of a terrible teacher. But hey, Luke is a source of sore contention for a lot of people who hate this film. Guess what? The choices that Luke makes in this film, i.e. almost murdering Kylo Ren because he sensed darkness in him, makes total sense for Luke's character. He's always been impulsive. Hell, that's the whole reason why he went and lost his hand in Cloud City. I know some people would say, well, doesn't that go against Luke's character arc, the fact that he was impulsive and now he's not? He learned from that? You could make that argument, yes. But that's a personality trait that will remain with Luke for the rest of his life. I think his character arc is learning how to control that compulsiveness, not getting rid of it completely. He's an old hermit and kind of an ass, but he's fun. Mark Hamill's performance? Great. And I love how Daisy Ridley plays off of that. Daisy Ridley, again, pretty good in this film. I think she was a little better in Force Awakens, but this, pretty good as well. The mystery surrounding her parents was also interesting, but I like, again, something fans didn't like, I like how her parents are nobodies. That proves that anyone in the Star Wars universe can be anything they want. It doesn't have to be, well, your parents were this very famous Force wielder, your parent was Kit Fisto or something, and now you have the midichlorians in you or whatever. No, Rey's parents were junk traders, and she just wound up with the Force. I like that. That proves anyone in the Star Wars universe can be Force sensitive and can be a hero if they set their mind to it. How funny would that be if Rey was Kit Fisto's daughter? How would that work? With the head tails and whatnot? Something to think about. But again, just like in Force Awakens, my favorite character in this film is Kylo Ren. I just think that Adam Driver's subtle performance really gives layers to Kylo Ren and makes him more of a conflicted character. Also, he is responsible for the birth of the Ben Swallow meme. Can we just have a moment of silence for Ben Swallow? But someone else who I didn't mention in my Force Awakens review, partly because I wasn't very impressed by her performance in that, Carrie Fisher. For her last, well, pseudo-last role, we thought this was her last role, now she's coming back in Rise of Skywalker due to old footage, but for her last role she ever shot, she does really well. I love Carrie Fisher in The Last Jedi. Force Awakens didn't really feel like the Princess Leia that we knew. She kind of felt like a smoking general. Not smoking hot, like smoking like like tobacco and whatnot, because you know she did that. But here, she actually feels like the Leia that we left in the original trilogy. I don't know what was off with her performance in Force Awakens, just didn't really feel like Leia. Here, no. She's full-on Leia. CG, of course it's flawless, it looks amazing. I love just how basically every ship and every space battle looks in this film. And my god, that ending fight with Rey and Kylo Ren and those, what are they called? The Praetorian Guards, I think they are. That fight is just so beautiful. It's one of the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars. I don't care that there's little to no choreography. Guess what? There was little to none of that in the original trilogy either. There was maybe a little bit more, but not by much. It's not over choreographed like the prequels, and people didn't like the over choreography in the prequels, but now there's little of that in The Last Jedi and people still hate it. Like, can we not please you people? Anyway, I like the ending fight. I think it's amazing. Snoke. Guess I should mention him because he dies in that scene. Spoiler alert. I like how we don't get an answer about what Snoke is, who Snoke is. That's a middle finger to every person on the internet that spent a long time trying to come up with Snoke theories. Who is Snoke? Is Snoke Mace Windu? Is Snoke Kit Fisto? Guess what? It doesn't matter who Snoke is. Who cares who Snoke is? He's just a bad guy to murder. Now, yes, that does mean that he has little to no character within himself. And in the end, I don't really care much about Snoke. But I like the implications that his death brings, that it doesn't really matter who he is, because the main villain just so happens to be Kylo Ren. He takes over the First Order after he murders Snoke. And he's going to be the main villain in The Rise of Skywalker, because I don't really think that Palpatine is going to play a huge role in Rise of Skywalker. I think he's just going to come back for a while, but he's not going to be the main dude. That's my prediction. I haven't seen the film yet. But it was all set up for Kylo Ren to eventually kill Snoke and take his place. Boom. That happens here. I should also say that Snoke's CGI here is vastly improved. His CG in The Force Awakens, I don't know if it was intentional that it was supposed to look that bad, but here, it's fixed. Looks a lot better. Andy Serkis also gives a pretty good vocal performance as Snoke. So that's all that I liked about the film. Now let's discuss what I don't like. Because unlike a majority of the Star Wars fandom, I don't blindly love or blindly hate this movie. I got problems with it. Canto Bight. Cut it all. It's useless. The whole storyline with Finn and Rose. Cut it. It's useless. I liked Finn in Force Awakens. I don't think he's very good in Last Jedi. Get rid of him. Or at least make his storyline feel a little bit more important, or necessary, or not boring. That'd be nice. I don't think that this is an inherent flaw with the film itself, but the character of DJ, I don't care much for him. He doesn't really have a huge impact on the entire story. Again, I don't blame the film for that. I blame the fanboys who obsessively tried to figure out who this character is. The film didn't promise us that DJ was going to be anything special. Fanboys hyped that up. This is your own doing. And wow, this movie is absurdly long. It does not need to be 2.5 hours. It doesn't. You cut the entire Canto Bight sequence and the entire sequence where Finn and Rose go back to the Super Star Destroyer thing, or just, I think they just call it Snoke's ship. Cut all that, you could cut a whole hour out of this film. No, I'd say a good, 2 hours, 4 minutes. That's how long A New Hope is. 2 hours. That's how long I think a Star Wars film should be, not 2.5. This was about a half hour too long, and it's a beast to watch. It takes a lot out of me to watch The Last Jedi. There are other things that I could talk about. Admiral Akbar's death. Kind of upsetting. Luke's death. I'm not too keen on Luke's death. I really don't have a feeling about Luke's death. It makes sense, but I wish deep down in my heart that both him and Han weren't killed, so then we could have had our reunion. But that's the sad reality of this film franchise, is the fact that not everybody gets to meet everybody again. Not everybody gets to see everybody one last time. Sucks that this space fantasy franchise has to teach us lessons about real life. In real life, you might not get to see your friend one last time before they use Force Skype and fade away. That could happen. That happened to my friend Jared. He used Force Skype. He's dead now. Rest in peace, Jared. I don't have a feeling towards Luke's death. I think it makes sense. I would have preferred it not to happen, but it happened. I'm okay with it. Speaking of Force Skype, it's a cool power. I don't have any feeling about it either way. Could take it or leave it. Honestly, it doesn't offend me that it's here. And a lot of people, I'm sure, because I'm a evil conservative, a lot of people are going to want me to talk about the social justice warrior, women better than men, feminists, undertones in this film. They don't bother me. Yeah, Poe is irrational and kind of hot-headed. That was established in Force Awakens. That didn't change his character in any way. Why would I be offended that a woman tells him, stop? Now, do I think Holdo should have told him the plan? A little bit. But his previous actions have kind of proven he couldn't handle that fact. And maybe Holdo just thought she was doing the right thing by keeping him out of the loop. I don't even hate Holdo all that much. So no, the feminist undertones in this film, they're there, they don't bother me. I don't really care. And now this concludes the political section of this review. Watch, even though I said I didn't care about it, people will still say, well, you were sexist because you talked about it. Blah. I said I didn't care. Well, you're sexist because you don't care about women's rights. When did I ever say I didn't care about women's rights? What the hell's the matter with you? That's where we are nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. The state of political arguments is just buzzwords, and then the other person running away because they're too scared to actually argue with you. But that's a discussion for another time. I like a majority of the characters in this film. I like one of the two major storylines. I like a lot of the action. I like the music choices, especially during the ending fight scene on Crate. Battle of Crate. It's a really good piece of music by John Williams. Seek it out if you haven't heard it just by itself. It's really good. And the Battle of Crate itself is pretty good as well. I am okay with Force Skype. I am okay with Snoke dying. I'm okay with Luke dying. I don't care for the Canto Bight subplot. I don't care for Finn and Rose. I don't care for DJ. But just because this film went in a different and sort of darker direction than Force Awakens did, that doesn't make it a bad film. Far from it, even. Here's an example I want to give to you, okay? Take A New Hope. A fun space romp, right? Empire Strikes Back goes in a completely different direction than A New Hope does. It's darker and ends in tragedy. People praised Empire for doing that. They praised it for being different than its predecessor. The Last Jedi goes in a sort of darker tone, not as extreme as Empire, and its tragic ending is really that the resistance is almost dead. The First Order reigns throughout the galaxy in The Last Jedi. They won, kind of. So it's not as tragic of an ending as Empire was. However, it still went in a drastically different way than Force Awakens did. And yet, people despise The Last Jedi for that. I'll never understand why people think that, well, The Last Jedi is bad because it's different from the predecessor. Whoa, hang on there. Don't you want variety in your sequels? You don't want the sequel to be the exact same as the first, right? So when it's not, you get mad. It's the same problem I have with Cars 2. People hate Cars 2 because it's a spy film. Okay, that's creative. It's different from the first one, and yet you don't like it? I'm not trying to criticize anybody who has legit reasons for not liking The Last Jedi. I completely understand why people probably wouldn't care for this film. What I can't stand is the blind fanboys on either side, mind you, who either love this movie or hate this movie and are rabidly fighting each other about whether it's the best or the worst. I can't stand that. It's still going on today. Don't act like it's over. There are still factions fighting it out in message boards and YouTube videos and comment sections. It's still happening today. Stop whining about this movie. We get it. You either love it or you hate it. Stop. This has been a PSA. So The Last Jedi, I recommend you watch it. Don't see any sniper shots coming into my closet, so I think we're good. I recommend you watch The Last Jedi. I think it's good. Is it the best Star Wars film? No, but it might be the most surprising one. To me, I never expected it to go in this direction, and to me, that's cool. Is it my favorite of the Disney-era Star Wars films? No, certainly not the worst. Rogue One is definitely the worst. But this one isn't my favorite either. But I do like it quite a bit, and I recommend that you see it. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Best Buy, probably. It's where you're going to get the most options on which version you should buy. Could either get the 4K. I would highly recommend the 4K, actually, because if you want to upgrade to 4K eventually in the future, you get a regular Blu-ray with it. You can watch the regular Blu-ray. Although the 4K on this, it's a little iffy. It's not much better than the regular Blu-ray. There's a slight uptick in quality. Honestly, I don't know why I got the 4K. I think I read online it was like a really good transfer, but I wasn't blown away by it. But if you are going to upgrade to 4K in the future, you're going to want to watch the 4K on your 4K TV. So just go ahead and get the 4K combo pack. Just go ahead and do it. I know you're on Amazon right now. You've got it in your cart and you wanted to see if I would recommend it. Just go ahead and buy it. Just do it, man. What are you waiting for? Click the buy it now option. But make sure there's not 600 items in your cart. That is a reference to something my uncle did. He had over 600 items in his Amazon cart, and he clicked the buy it now with one click, and he bought everything. Took them weeks to send all that stuff back. True story, by the way, not kidding. And number 5, what price should you pay? This is an interesting one. I'm not going to give you a price for the DVD only version because you would rather saw off your own leg than watch a DVD in 2019. At least I assume you would. I would. For the standard Blu-ray version, store price $22. It's really not all that expensive. Standard 4K though, I'd say $25 for that. It's not worth $30 or whatever Best Buy is trying to charge for it. Wait till it goes on sale or something or find it on like a discount website. Steelbook artwork is really good. I would highly recommend you seek out the Steelbook just for the artwork. It's really amazing. The artwork for The Last Jedi in general is really good. I didn't realize that red and white make a really good color combination. I love the poster for this. It's the background on the phone I'm using to record this HMR right now. So yeah, that's high praise from me. I really like this poster and the whole artwork scheme in general. Blue, red, and white make a really cool color combination. And I guess there's some blacks thrown in there too. So that is my home media review for The Last Jedi. I cannot wait to see how many triggered fanboys on both sides of the spectrum, both lovers and haters, want to respond to this video. I'm saying that like I'm a bigger deal than I really am. I'm really not that big a deal. This video is probably not even going to crack 1,000 views, but that's okay. Because as long as one person watches this video and is entertained by it, then I've done my job as a YouTuber. Haven't made a lot of money, but I've done my job. And I want to just go ahead and say sorry to anyone who I offended, if I offended anyone with this video, telling you to shut up about your arguments either for or against this. I'm not a proponent of censorship. I think people should be allowed to say whatever the hell they want. But be smart, okay? Pick your battles. Choose your battles wisely, I should say. And be civil. Like, guys, can we not... when did civility die? I guess it died in 2016 with modern politics because both the left and the right can't be civil to one another. They both just have to scream and yell at the other one. And it's the same thing with The Last Jedi. Lovers and haters, guys. Come on. Be civil towards one another. Don't call one side a libtard cuck and the other sister screwing southerner or whatever you call people on the right. Racist, sexist, homophobic bigots. That's what I'm called every day. Disclaimer, YouTube, I am none of those things. Please don't take away monetization, please. Be civil towards one another, okay? So I mentioned in this video that Last Jedi is not my favorite Disney-era Star Wars film. You might be asking, well, what is? Next week, we'll be covering my favorite Disney-era Star Wars film, Solo, A Star Wars Story. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.